Hello everyone, NoodleHouse here, welcome back to Chaos Child. Let's continue. We're going to save Uki and Zoe. If I abandon her here, I'll be doing the same thing I did before. I'll be abandoning someone again in the exact same place. A long time ago, I abandoned your friend Senri Minami-sawa here, and I ran away. I still regret that to this day. That Yamazoe girl is another victim of these experiments, and this time I want to save her. I don't think that will be enough to get Senri Minami-sawa to forgive me, but I want to do it anyway. Kuruzu's voice choked up. She must be remembering what happened to her best friend. Takuru, listen to me. Huh? Senri actually... You know something about her? Tell me, Kuruzu. I'm sorry. I'm just having a hard time thinking straight. Senri died in the earthquake. It's not your fault, I swear it. Kuruzu. So, you don't have to blame yourself, you can just forget it, okay? Kuruzu looked down at her feet. When she did, her hair covered her eyes and I couldn't tell what she was thinking. Kuruzu was about to say something and stopped. Just as I thought to ask, I heard soft footsteps. They're here? Momose's van was in the same alleyway where she'd been picked up before. They'd been watching the hospital for a while now. I saw two shadows that probably belonged to Shinjo and Kunosato leave the van and run into the grounds. Kuruzu, they're on the move. Can you do this? Yeah. I tapped her on the shoulder and she looked up. That's why they called her the Empress of Hekio Academy. There was no trace of sadness that had been there a moment ago. Sorry, I was just remembering Senri, but I'm okay now. Honestly, I'd rather you wait here. But I couldn't real boot on my own. I needed a partner no matter what. What are you talking about? I'm not sitting out here and worrying about you. I thought you'd say that. We followed Shinjo and Kunosato from a distance. A moment later, they had pressed themselves up against the wall near the rear emergency entrance. Even from a distance, I could tell it was more heavily secured than before. The lock seemed to be newer and sturdier model, but Shinjo must have already had the key because he took something out of the pocket and started to put it in the lock. They're planning on getting from here there, huh? Alright then. I quickly created an image in my mind. I looked at the key-like object he was holding, and envisioned it flying away. Damn it, I should train more. The more I started to panic, the more I lost focus. I couldn't make a delusion clear in my mind. Damn it. Calm down, you're fine. Calm down. Okay, got it. I could see the dice sword floating in front of me. Kuruzu, I'm going to use your brain for a little bit. Go ahead, though. I guess it's a weird thing to say. I imagined delusion had come up with going inside Kunosato, Shinjo, and Kunosato's mind. I said Kunosato twice, I said Kuruzu. Kuruzu gasped a little. She must have felt something. The delusion was shared between us, and instantly, the real boot was complete. Clang. The metallic object in Shinjo's hand rolled away and hit the ground with a clang. Then I heard the two of them gasp. The key rolled along the ground in a very unnatural way until it rolled down a metal sewer grate. Just like I'd imagined. Yes. You idiot, hide Takuru. Just as I was about to make a victory pose, Kuruzu grabbed my hand and pulled me back. Then she dragged me down onto the ground. Sorry. Don't get cocky. This is why you need me with you. My hand was shaking a little. She was probably still scared of my power, no matter how many times she saw it. That was how most people would react. I hesitated a moment, then gripped her hand in return. Then I let go and looked over at Shinjo and Kunosato. The two of them whispered to each other and then silently headed back toward the van. Now. Yeah. We kept low as we headed for the emergency entrance. When we reached that door, I turned around towards Kuruzu. She got up a moment later, but her breathing was a little heavy. Sorry, I went a little fast. No, I'm sorry. I wish I was more athletic. Can you open that door? I think so, Kuruzu. I'm gonna do it once more. No, probably a few times, sorry. I don't care, that's why I'm here. I stared at the door. The lock was stronger than before, probably because of the time we'd broken in. I imagined the lock flipping and the door opening. There was a heavy click and the door opened like I'd imagined. Thanks to my power, we were able to make it inside with no trouble. I remember the route to the room where we'd found Uki, so we headed there. But as we walked through the darkness, I saw that Kuruzu was acting a little strange. Are you okay? Oh yeah, I'm just a little claustrophobic actually, but I'm fine, don't worry about me. Fine, you're sweating really bad. And then I realised something. Is her injury bothering her? She seemed like she was okay, but it had been a really bad injury. It couldn't have fully healed up by now. Hey, Kuruzu? I'm fine. Let's hurry, okay? Yeah. She pushed me onward before I could stop. We're almost there. It's not that much farther to the room, so hang in there. Yeah. That's right. It was right around this corner. Suddenly, we heard the voice sobbing in the darkness. Kuruzu and I almost leapt into each other's arms. It was the voice of a little girl. Takuru, is this? Was it a ghost? No, that was dumb. Which meant it had to be. Kuruzu and I nodded and stepped towards the direction of the room. Just like Shinjo said, the room was completely empty. The beds and the patients that had been confined there were all gone. It was just an empty room. And standing in the middle of the empty room was a crying Uki Yamazoe. How long had she been there? She was crying like a child who'd lost their mother. Nobody's here. Nobody's here. Someone answer me. Kuruzu couldn't bear to watch. She ran over and gave the girl a big hug. Soon Kuruzu was crying too. You really hung in there, huh? But it's okay now. So let's go home, okay? But Uki must not have heard her because she just stood there crying silently for a long, long time. The whole time there was nothing I could do but watch. You okay? You want me to take over for you, Takuru? I'm fine, we're almost there. When we finally made it back to Albador, I took Uki off my back and put her on the sofa. And then I lay flat on the floor with my arms and legs stretched out. I hate to say it, but this is pathetic. She wasn't even that heavy, I was just out of shape. I told you I'd take over. If I let you do it, you're so clumsy you might drop her. How rude, I'm not that bad, and I think I'm in better shape than you are, Takuru. Kuruzu's eyes were red-rimmed. Her face was red from when she tried to rub away the tears. She must have been embarrassed by it, because she turned away from me and said something mean. Right, whatever. We've all got to tell Dad what happened. Oh yeah, you're right. After Kuruzu left to get him, I lifted my tired body off the floor and onto the sofa. As I'd expected, Uki hated the idea of leaving the basement. But after Kuruzu's fervent attempts at persuasion and my own insistence that nobody was coming back to the basement, she'd finally clung to Kuruzu and started to break down. And as I carried her on my back, she'd gotten tired and fall asleep. Where is her family? Her real home? What about her school? I hadn't had a chance to look the first time we'd gone into the basement, and that day was probably long gone by now. Dad said he's coming up. Okay. Kuruzu sat next to Uki on the sofa and softly stroked her hair. I wonder if there's a missing person report for her. Shinjo said he couldn't find any data on her. I see. It might be because of the Shibuya earthquake. After the earthquake, more data on missing persons and casualties had gone missing than you could imagine. And on top of that, this year has seen the largest solar storm in history affect all kinds of electronic devices. Devices! It's all the devices! Shibuya hadn't been hit that hard, but a lot of data in other regions has been lost. All we know is her name, huh? If only she at least had some kind of clue. Princess Nono, Brother Takuru? There's something wrong. The door opened. Yui and Yuto peeked inside. Shh. The two of them froze next to the door. You two are still awake? Well, we were trying to sleep when we heard you talking. Is everything okay? You're not fighting again, are you? Kurizu and I looked at each other without thinking. We're fine. We're not fighting. Really, I hope so, but... Suddenly, Yui stopped. She saw the girl sleeping on the sofa and her eyes went wide. I thought that she was just surprised to see a strange girl sleeping on the sofa, but...
Uki-chan?
She said something we never expected.
What is Uki doing here?
Yui, you know her? Yeah, I think so, but wait, that's impossible. I can hear a dog barking. I'm really sorry if you can as well. It's quite noisy today, my apologies. Yui walked over to the sofa and sat down next to Kurizu. Then she stared at Yuki Yamazoe. Sorry, I think I was wrong. No, you're right. This girl's name is Uki. But that doesn't make sense. How can she look the exact same as she used to? As she used to? Uki was in my class when I was in 2nd grade. Okay. And the next morning... We'll go over this once more, okay? Her name is Yuki Yamazoe. She's the same age as you, Yui, so either 13 or 14. Right. Dad was filling out what looked like a medical chart on his computer. She was in Yui's class in the 2nd grade, but shortly before the earthquake, she stopped coming to school, and you don't know what happened to her after that. Yeah. And she hasn't changed her business 6 years ago, is that what you're saying? Yeah, I don't think she's changed at all. I found proof too. Yui showed us a photo. Oh. It was a class photo from her school. I could see a young Yui in a row of children. And the front row next to the teacher I saw Uki. Look. What do you think, Takuru? It can't be someone who looks like her. That has to be Uki. Which means some kind of problem with her growth hormones, perhaps. Everyone, Uki's awake. Really? Okay, bring her in. Wait, Dad? No shouting in front of Uki, you have to be gentler. That's my normal voice though. Just be gentle. Okay. Dad glared at her and started mumbling about how he hadn't raised her to be like this again. Uki, you can come in now. After a long pause, a small girl trembling entered the room. I'm assuming that's it anyway. Kurizu took her hand and walked her over to the chair, then sat her down. Uki, good morning. She flinched away from Yui's cheerful voice. I don't remember me, do you? You only know what I looked like 6 years ago. Yui took out the class photo and pointed to herself. See, this is me. Yui Tachibana, do you remember me? Yui Tachibana? Oh. Uki looked at the girl in the photo, then Yui, and then she gave herself a little start of surprise. You remember? Oh yes, it's been a long time. Oh come on, your classmates don't have to be so awkward. But what? Dad typed something else in his computer as he watched them. That settles it then. Yeah. There's no question of it now. Uki Yamazoe was definitely Yui's old classmate. That would go a long way toward tracking down her family. Anyway, that's amazing. I still can't believe it's really you. We were surprised, but it seemed to be Yui who was most surprised of all. Her missing classmate suddenly shown up at her home, and her brother and sister had brought her there. And she looks exactly the same as she did 6 years ago. Uki, can I ask you something? Oh, yes, sir. She must have seen Dad's white coat and gone nervous because she suddenly sat up straight. Have you ever been told you had an hereditary illness? Something that caused you to stop growing? I don't understand, I'm sorry. Then, do you remember when you stopped getting taller? How was it when you were in Yui's class? I'm sorry, I don't know that either, but something weird happened to me after the earthquake. And I'm going to end it here. So if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like in the section below. And if you want to see more of this, then do subscribe to the channel as I upload every day. Thank you for watching, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.